Ori Spado here with a special edition of the alleged crimes Diddy did at Fort Dix. And I use the word alleged. I have listened to TMZ. I've read CBS reports. I read all the reports as well as listening to many of the YouTubers. But nobody's giving the truth or the facts or the right questions. They're not asking the right questions. Now, for those of you who don't know, Fort Dix is a low security correctional institute with an adjacent minimum security, which is basically a camp. Okay? Total inmates is over 4,400 inmates there. As you know, I did 62 months in federal prison. I know the rules. I know what you could do, what you can't do. I know who you could call and you can't call. Okay? Nobody's asking the question. If Diddy did those things, why is he getting a job in the chaplain's office? Why? Hi, Mr. Scott. Thank you for coming. Why is Diddy still in a low security prison? Obviously, he's had to pay somebody off big time over here. It's the only conclusion I can come to. Because there's something definitely wrong. And let me explain why. He got caught drinking, allegedly. He got caught making a three-way call on somebody else's phone, not his. A three-way call where he was asking for $100 bills. Why would he want $201 bills? I have no idea. I could only surmise. Maybe think about what it would be. Hi, Mel Mac, thank you. Folks, these alleged things that Diddy had, there should have been no hesitation at all. He should have been transferred immediately to a medium security prison. Immediately. Those both, the drinking and the telephone call, those are both 100 series shots, which would raise his points to go to at least a minimum. But he's there and he's got a job with a chaplain. And guess what? The chaplain has in his office. He has a telephone. You know who a chaplain is? He's got a telephone in his office. And Diddy's his assistant? Give me a break. Okay? Diddy will be able to make the phone calls he wants. I believe that he had all this pre-planned, prepaid for before he left MDC Brooklyn. So folks, why is he getting special treatment? Good question, Mel Mac. Okay? Marilyn wants to know more about the picture behind me. I'll tell you about that picture in a minute, Marilyn. Remind me again, okay? I'd be happy to tell you the story there. Okay? Uh, so, folks, these are questions I got. Because I know if I were in prison and I did that, I would have been put in the shoe and transferred to another prison. No question. There's been people paid off left and right And who's ever done it, they've done a great job. I got to say, they've done a great job. Because everybody wants to say, Diddy did this, Diddy did that. But yet, there he is still at Fort Dix, low security prison. That don't happen to nobody else. Yeah, I don't know if Trump's got anything to do with it, Fallen. Hello, Heather. Thank you for joining. Yeah, folks, these are the questions nobody asks. Why don't they ask them? Law and crime don't ask those questions. He's a lawyer. I can understand these other people. I even wrote Tisa Tell, I wrote Ticket, and I wrote a few others and let them know. These are the questions you should be asking. But nobody asks. Nobody wants to. They all want to go on the alleged circumstances of what they heard. No, I'm not saying they're not true. They could be very well be true. There was actually CBS reported a something from the BOP records. So obviously it is true, and they're not alleged. Now I don't know who the warden is at Fort Dix. I know that my warden that I had at Lompoc many years, who got reprimanded. Listen to this. See, there's a rule in prison, particularly here in California in the federal prison. Never put a North Sider with a South Sider. And she did it to try it out. All right? There was an immediate riot. I seen a guy's ear come right off, all right, with a lock. It was mad. Trust me. Okay? You don't want to see what a riot is like in prison. Okay? She got transferred out of Lompoc and became the warden of Fort Dix. I just did a little checking, and they don't, they're not saying who the warden is there. Or at least I couldn't find it. So if any of you could find it, please let me know and leave me a comment. Okay, I appreciate it. You're right, Agent Art. Any government officials question anything about laws being broken or rights taken away, they get dismissed. So, folks, this whole thing about Diddy is so much propaganda, and most of it's coming directly from him and his people. Remember, he still has a company to run. Now, I can understand him wanting to go to Fort Dix, be closer to where his businesses are, the people who work for him, etc. All right? So that he could try to continue doing business. You could do that if you do it the right way. You call one person, that person's on your call list. Okay? Diddy hasn't had that much time to get that many people on his call list yet. Unless he had it prearranged, I don't know how he could have done it. Okay? Christ, it took me over 2 weeks to get the people on my call list approved before I could make a call to them. That was a Lompoc. Art Thompson, Heather, that's who the warden is. Thank you for doing that there. I'm going to check it. All right? Art Thompson. Thank you, Heather, for that there. Heather Marie, folks. There's our answer. So, folks, you know what a shot is in prison? It's not the kind of shot, all right? A shot is you broke the law, okay? Making phone calls on somebody using somebody else's phone, that alone, and then having that person get another person and making it a three-way call. He wants to say it was his lawyer. His lawyers haven't come out and said anything about it, have they? You didn't hear them. So, you know that's a lie. I just don't understand. Okay? It's quite obvious what's going on, and nobody's doing anything about it. I mean, just how much money and who has he paid off? Folks, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. Okay, who was that lady that asked about this picture? I had a friend when I lived on the Wilshire corridor many, many years ago named Ron Barrett, who was in the art business. And he showed me this. It said uh, Antoine Richard. Let's see. Yeah. Antoine Ricard. That's who drew that picture. I have another one he drew over there on that wall. I bought them from my friend Ron Barrett, who he's no longer with us. Very nice guy. Yeah, Agent Orange. What about the inmate that, all right, that he paid to use his phone for? All right? He ruined that guy's phone privileges. They say, now they're reporting today, that they took away his phone privileges and his commissary for 90 days. Hmm. Thank you, McAfee. Thank you for that information. All right? District of case is captioned Warren Thompson, FBI for Dick, indicated that the early 24th, the official responded, Warren was Thompson. Okay, folks, thank you for that great research. You know, one thing about me and my friends here who follow me, I got a lot of intelligent people. Okay? You are the people that other people don't have. Okay? It's hard to find intelligent people here on YouTube. Trust me. Okay? I can't believe some of the reporting that I'm listening to and, you know, people saying things. Thank you, McMack. So now we know Thompson. Yeah, I got to ask my friend Chris, who was at Fort Dix, my co-defendant. That's where he did his time. He loved it. He tried to get me. He said, "Get transferred here." Okay. I should have taken his advice because Lompo. Well, I was in a medium. I was in a medium. There's a difference, folks. You got your camp, your low, your medium, and your USP. They're all different, okay? But you see what comes below USP? Medium. That's where you got the barbed wire around the prison. Several layers of it, okay? The USP is the brick wall. A low, I don't even know. I don't even see any fences around Fort Dix. I'm sure there are. I was told there are. There is a fence around there because a lot of the people who are at Fort Dix, they live in that area. They got friends come through phones, drugs, and so uh, and then at nighttime the inmates go out and pick those different things up. So look at drugs, whatever you want in prison, you can get in prison. And you know the best way to get it in there and who brings it in is the guards. You could pay the guards off in prison left and right and own them. And you could bet your boots Diddy's been doing that. Because if he wasn't, he would have been transferred out of there. Okay? So something's up. And it's irking me because I don't know. Okay? But you can bet your boots with all the propaganda going on about it. All right? You're right, Nancy Line. Thank you, Nancy. I hope you're feeling better, honey. All right? Your health is more important, kiddo. Folks, look, you're not going to see me here that often anymore. I got to go where I can make money, and I think you do it over on TikTok. I got to be honest with you. Okay? So I'm going to be doing more there. I'm not going away. Don't think that. Okay? I'll be here, but you're not going to see me as often or as long. I want to keep them short. Uh, and I always keep my things with truthful and factual information. Truth and facts is what you get with Ori Spado. You don't get that elsewhere, folks. All right? I'll bet you any amount of money. Okay? Except you get it on Bill O'Reilly. All right? If you watch the political news, you get it from Bill O'Reilly. All right? No spin zone. You're right, Heather. I will post on both. Okay? There is a way that I'm going to be able to do that. I'm working on that so I could only do one and it goes to both. All right? Trying to figure that out. I'm not a tech guy. I'll never be a tech guy. And that's that, okay? Because it depresses me to even think about it. Tech, that I got to think about these kind of things. All right? You're right, Heather. I do have a lot of followers. But here's the funny thing. I'm making less money with almost 13,000 followers or subscribers than I did when I had 1,000. Why is that? Buy another phone. I want to get rid of this one. Just keep my landline like the old days and be happy again. Hey, refried bean, you made it, buddy. Refried bean, how you normally catches the replays. Thank you for coming, my friend. So, folks, I try to do my best, give you truth, give you facts, and give you my perspective on things. Okay? It's why this is happening with Diddy and nothing happening to him makes no sense at all. All right? It leads me to the point it's just got to be part of the propaganda, and he didn't really do those things. Otherwise, and any other, if it were me in prison, I would have been transferred out of there to a higher security prison. And now to boot, here he is. He gets caught drinking, and now they say he's in the drug program. How the hell did he get in that drug program so damn fast? Okay? He hasn't been there 2 weeks yet. What's he been there, about 9 days? I'm not kidding, figure it out. Okay? Yeah, folks, I watch other YouTubers, and if anything I watch longer than 90 seconds, I give that person a thumbs up, a like. You know why I do it? I feel that's something you can give to them. It don't cost you anything. I'm not asking you for money here, am I? Okay? But hitting that like button don't cost a penny. But people just don't like hitting it. And I can't figure that out. Why? All right? For somebody who wants to take the time and give you information, don't you think I'd show a little respect and hit that like button? Really, seriously. All right? You heard me yesterday. Yesterday I did 2 shows. I did one at the VA cemetery. Okay? I was very disappointed. I gave a day's notice that I was doing that live. Chris, California, I'll get to that answer in a minute, Chris. Chris asked what I thought about Goodfellas. Okay, let's answer that question. Goodfellas is probably one of the best movies, gangster movies ever made. And the guy who wrote it is Nick Pileggi. And he wrote that after he wrote the book. He wrote the book first. Nick Pileggi happened to be a very close personal friend of mine. And if you get my book, okay, The Accidental Gangster, all right, it's available anywhere you want to buy a book. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Google, anywhere you want to buy a book, you can find it. If you look at the blurb on the back, okay, you can see Nick Pileggi, all right? He wrote the very first blurb. Here's what he wrote. For nearly 40 years, Orlando Ori Spado was a friend and associate of John Sonny Franchise, underboss of the Colombo organized crime family. His relationship with Sonny brought him to the attention of the FBI and eventually led to his being indicted with Sonny on federal RICO charges and imprisoned. In The Accidental Gangster, Ori provides a detail of his time in the life and his long battle with the FBI, whose overwhelming resources made it a fight that was impossible to win. Nick Pileggi, author and screenwriter, Casino, Goodfellas, and you could add a few more to that there too. Okay, so you all know who Nick is. And Nick is. I got every one of his phone numbers. He's got homes in 3 different places. I got every phone number at all his homes. So he is a close friend, and Nick and I, we talk a lot. Nick, in my opinion, is probably the best mob historian that there is in this country. Uh, First of all, he grew up in the neighborhood. He became a reporter. Okay, he attended all the court hearings. He knew a lot of the people, and he really goes back and knows his history like you can't believe. Unfortunately, Nick does not go on people's podcasts. He only does interviews when he has a movie out, and you know, and that's the only time he does interviews. All right. Messina was in prison. Well, yeah, he did, and he became an informant in prison. So check that out. Well, thank you for posting that there. I appreciate it. All right, so don't worry about TikTok, okay? I'll give you folks. I'll be here. I'm not going to give up on you, too. Don't get me wrong, okay? But I feel my time is valuable, and I should be earning money, not $2 a day. I come out here and make $2, okay? $2, folks, if I make that much. I'm not bullshitting you at all, okay? Got no reason to. I just can't figure how they do things. I mean, how was it when I had less subscribers? I made more money. Okay. Uh, I guess because maybe I was asking for that thanks button, but I'm not asking for that anymore. Okay? Because I don't like asking people. People want to do something, they're going to do it. Simple as that. Yeah, well, I don't know what, all right? No, no, Mr. Wonderful, I will be here. All right, please listen to what I'm saying. Okay? Hey, well, maybe I should go back to that there. You just brought something up. Okay? When I first began, I was only doing videos. I should go back to that. Thank you, A. Will, for pointing that out. All right? I appreciate that there. I'm rich in life. Caribbean. Caribbean heat. Thank you. Hey, every day I hear is another day, so I'm very thankful. I'm not leaving, Chris, okay? Don't. But Abel just gave me a good idea. Something that I stopped doing because I don't get many people looking at my videos, but it must have been back then. So I got to figure that out. So let me figure that out, and okay, I'm gonna do that. I've been doing shorts, Will. I don't know if the shorts do anything or not. Okay, uh, I guess they do something. Everything does something with the algorithms and all that there. All right, so I'm gonna try that. Thank you. See, folks, I come here and I learn things because I don't know nothing. I forgot what I was doing before, and Will just pointed it out. Do more videos. So let me try that. Okay. Folks, I wanted to share that information with you, okay? People are not asking the right questions. Because in any other prison, Diddy would have been transferred out or put in special housing in his shoe by himself 23 hours a day. But there he is, working in chaplain's office for a guy, and he's in a drug program, and he gets caught drinking. It just don't make sense, okay? Using somebody else's phone, another inmate, and having a three-way call on it? How dumb can you be? Did he really do that? If so, he should not be where he's at. All right, folks, that's it for today. I want to thank you. Folks, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Okay? God bless you all. Have a great day. All my love and respect as usual. Take care.